Greetings everyone, and welcome on back to what is surely destined to be another riveting episode of Minecrafting with Ultra. I am Ultra, and today I've got some plans to sink my teeth into a pretty big build. We're gonna be making some big moves today. Just enter our way into the city here, and I will do some splaining. And while I do that, I also wanted to remind you guys that we are only 2 episodes away from episode 50, and I've got some cool builds planned and some fun things that we're gonna do. It's also an Ask Me Anything kind of thing. So feel free to leave some questions down below in the comments if you'd like. I am saving them all in a little folder that I've got kind of set up on my computer here because I am ultra big brained. Today though, we are here. This is where we left off last episode. We did some planning for some builds, and I've realized that this building here, this giant warehouse, is a bit of a problem. It's not a problem, really. It's gonna be awesome. Don't judge it. It's going to be awesome. The problem that we have with it is we can't really proceed with any of these other buildings that we're planning out here until we proceed with this building. And that's only a problem because, quite frankly, I wasn't ready to do it yet. I think this is going to be a big job. It's definitely going to be a big build. The biggest like single build as far as area goes that we've done in this world. I think it's like 35, what have we got? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah, 35 blocks long, 20 blocks wide. This thing is pretty big. The challenge that we're going to have with it is having walls that size and a roof that size and having them not be boring. I do have a couple ideas though. So with that being said, why don't we jump right into it and get started? I knew I was going to need a ton of red bricks for this build, so I gathered up all the clay I could on a live stream. I broke it all down and smelted it all up so that we could get to build. And the first thing I did using my brick was I laid out a bit of a skeleton for the build and kind of started framing out the shape of the roof and where I'm going to have some cross beams to support the weight of the roof itself. And after that, I added some windows and another smaller layer to the roof on top of the bigger one below, just to break up the size of it a little bit, followed by a few more dormer windows down along near the original roof line. And then I capped that all off by filling in the roof with some spruce planks. And then that leaves us with this guy right here. And hopefully now you can start to see a bit more kind of what I'm going for with it. Why don't we fly out this way here and from here? See what I mean? Doesn't that look pretty cool? Doesn't that look like a little place where you build boats? I love how the roof, so we've got like this gentle kind of arch here that defines the shape of the roof, but then above that we've got this smaller one here. So and what that does, I think, is it helps distribute the weight out to the edges and down, so that way the weight isn't right on the middle of the roof here, because this is such a big structure. And I know it's Minecraft, I know none of this matters, but it's such a big structure that, you know, this would be a weak point. You would have risk of collapse. So I'm trying to build it in such a way that it looks like it distributes the weight kind of evenly around on both sides, down through the walls into the ground. I think that's how it works. And we'll have some really cool cross beams and stuff up there. We'll definitely have some walls on the sides and on this back side here, but this back side will be mostly covered by buildings and houses and shops and stuff. Same with this side here. We'll have a lot of stuff kind of built up against it here, so it won't be such a big just plain wall when we're done. This side is just going to be open though. I'm not going to put any doors on it or anything like that. I think that would be stupid. So we're just going to leave it open. We're going to have a big boat in here. We're going to have a really, really cool interior. I'm going to have a lot of fun doing this when we get to it. But before we can do an interior, we need an exterior to put it in. If you've watched any of my recent streams, you know that I have a hard time walking and talking without tripping. So I'm just going to throw you guys over into a time lapse, and we're going to see how much work we can get done on this thing. Now, I know what you guys are all thinking. Wow, amazing, incredible. And it would be absolutely correct of you to think that. This building turned out wonderfully. And I'll show you, but we have something to take care of first. We've addressed the elephant in the room. Now it's time to turn our attention back towards the boat in the water. We built this mama a couple episodes ago. And unfortunately for the boat, we let her set sail without a name or a christening service, and that's actually bad luck. Thankfully, I have you guys though to come up with some pretty epic names. I polled you guys on YouTube, and we've got one. It was a close battle, but ultimately there could only be one name, and you guys chose a beautiful name for a beautiful ship. So on this day, if I could get down here, I hereby declare you the Windward. That was supposed to be the bottle of champagne. Anyway, we can pretend that I broke a bottle of champagne over the front of the ship. It's the Windward. That's right. Yay! It was a close call between that and but. So, you guys have chosen though. The people have spoken. We now have the Windward. Back to the subject of today's video though. I've got to say, I think this building turned out super cool. This building turned out way cooler. Not this side of it. Don't look at this side of it. This side, kind of gross, this side. But the rest of the sides turned out way cooler than I could ever have imagined. I was pretty worried with it being such a large structure that it was gonna look dumb, but I don't think it does. I think it actually looks really, really cool. It actually fits in quite nicely here, especially once we go down dockside, you'll see why. But the outside, both sides are pretty well the same. We've got a couple winders. We got some broken ones here. We had some punk whippersnappers come through here and break out our winders. But there's some bigger ones up yonder ways. We got some more broken ones down here. And if you come to the other side, you'll notice, like I said, kind of similar things over here. We got big section of broken windows there. And a lot of these walls are gonna actually end up covered. We're gonna have little like markets and stalls and shops and stuff kind of built up against this building on the side of it here. So that way there won't be such just a big kind of plain wall here, and that'll actually help that look a lot better. The other side, we won't have very much built up against it. There are a couple more little details that I do want to put on this side of the build, but I have to fix the road first. I don't like how far it sticks out down this way. Down here is what I mean. I don't like that it extends past the entrance to the warehouse. Look at that. Oh my goodness, the rafters. So I am gonna have to rework this road, which means I'm gonna rip out all these houses that we planned last episode. These are gonna get ripped out. This road's gonna get ripped out. I want it to be, it's gonna have to be more of a steeper kind of an incline instead of just a straight steady one that goes down, because I want this road to be level with the docks down there by at least like here. So I'm gonna have to drop like, what are we at? We're at Y73 and this is Y69, nice. So we're gonna have to drop 4 blocks to get down there. So I'll rework the road and then we'll add a few more details on this side. So yeah, this building will be kind of like a work in progress for a long time, but for the most part, the outside is pretty much done. It's gonna let us get to work on some of the other buildings actually in future episodes. But I wanna show you guys the inside because that's arguably the coolest part. Look at how this thing turned out, and it's dark up there. And I like that. That's kind of on purpose. I like that it's kind of dark up there, but I also love the little arches that we managed to build. I might actually go through with more. I've got some stairs here in my inventory, and I might do maybe a couple more crosses this way on each of them just to make it look kind of even more supported, but I'm happy with it. I love it. Look how huge and just cavernous this thing looks. Here's the inside with the shaders off too. It doesn't make really much of a difference, I don't think, but I like the way it looks with these shaders. Look at that. Look at that little silhouette. Ignore my looking post out there, but I love the way that looks. I do think it needs more. So probably in between episodes or at some point in time, I'll add a little bit more to the cross beams up there, but that was tricky to do. We did that on a live stream. We did the cross beams up there on a live stream, and that was a ton of fun. So make sure you're, subscribed. Actually, hang on. There we are. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss, the live streams, and also the next episode too. Next episode, I think we're going to be coming back to the structure yet again. Next episode is episode 49. So that's going to be the last episode that we do over here in this kingdom for a little while. We are going to go back to spawn, and we're going to have a big celebration there for episode 50. So don't forget, that's the Ask Me Anything. Put some comments down below for episode 50, and I'll get those answered then. But for now, I think this wraps up the thing for now. Next episode, we'll work on the interior of that thing behind us, and we'll do some cool stuff. I got a lot of cool stuff planned for that. That's where this thing is really gonna come to life. But I hope you guys like this episode. I'm sorry it's a week later, but I got to working on this build and I kind of got inspired and I just wanted to keep going on it and finish it up before I put the episode out. So I did that. I love it. So cool. This place is going to be awesome when we're done. We're going to have more warehouses and blah, 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 blah. But I'm doing the whole Midwestern goodbye thing. People from the Midwest, if you're from the Midwest, you know what I'm talking about. We tend to say goodbye for far too long. So I'm just going to say it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to touch all my buttons before you leave. It feels nice. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think of the build, and subscribe if you're new, all that. And I guess that's it. So I'll see you guys next time.